Good afternoon, everybody. This is Purnachandrarao, working as assistant professor in the Department of CSC Data Science from BVRIT Institute of Technology, Sapur. Today, our topic is Introduction to Object-Oriented Technology and UML method. So, first of all, we are going to discuss what is object-oriented technology and what is UML methods. What are the UML methods, right? Object is nothing but it is a runtime entity. All the objects collectively we are running at a time. We are developing the project. Okay. Through these objects, we are going to develop the applications. So, for the creation of the objects, we should know what are the objects are required to developing of the project. So, for the designing purpose, we are using UML methodologies or UML technology. So, in which we have 9 diagrams. So, UML full form is Unified Modeling Language. So, here we are going to discussing about what are the different types of UML diagrams. There are 9 diagrams. The first one is use case diagram. Second one is class diagram. Next one objective diagram. Next sequence. Next collaboration. Next state. Next activity diagram. Finally deployment diagram. These are the 9 diagrams we are used to design for the developing of any application. So before you are designing of an application, so we required software development process. There are several steps are involved in this object-oriented technology and UML. The first chapter concept is software development process, which is named as SDLC, software development process, known as SDLC, software development life cycle, is structure and systematic approach, which is used for structure and systematic approach to design, coding, testing, maintenance and our applications. So this is software development process. Coming to this diagram, here there are 7 stages. The first one is requirement analysis. Second one is definition phase. Next designing phase. Next coding phase. Testing phase. Development phase. Lastly the maintenance phase. So while you are developing of any project, so these are the major steps are involved for a successful project. Okay. The first we are going to discussing about requirement analysis. The requirement analysis means for the problem we have to collect the information. Information is nothing but here data collected, various sources like various research purpose, exist projects. So everything should be what are the tools are required and what is the budget is required, how many resources are required. So all kind of data which can take, and we have to legally agreement with stakeholders, okay, who are given the project. So we have to take the all type of agreement. What time is required. So these are all the points we are going to discuss, then that is then you prepare one document, so which is legal document, which is legal document. Okay. After that, go for the definition phase. The definition phase nothing but what is the problem is given. So what is the planning you are going to do. So everything is going to implement in this. So here the planning itself different, we have to create a different objectives for the successful of the project. Means what is the data is required. Next, what are the tools are required, how complex it is, and how many days you are going to complete, what is the expenditure of this, and how many resources are required. So everything you are going to plan it. Then you have to go for the designing phase. Next, go for the designing phase. In this designing phase, so already I discussed, there are 9 diagrams we have. The first one is use case diagram. Second one is class diagram. Next one, objective diagram. Next, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, state chart diagram, activity diagram, component diagram, finally deployment diagram. So these are the several diagrams we are used it. Then we have to develop the code based on the designing. What are the classes are there? What are the what are the classes are there? How many objects are there? How data will be flow? So everything your detailed explanation is given in the designing phase. Then based on that designing, you go for coding phase. Next phase, coding phase. So based on that coding, based on the designing, we are going to implement what are the familiar softwares are required. So we have to go through that coding. Okay. After coding, then we go for testing it. What will do? We will go for the test. So after developing of the application, after build the code, so we are implemented on application, either static or dynamic, whatever it may be. For the static application, so we go for there are static or dynamic, whatever maybe, they are taking as 2 types of testings, black box testing as well as a white box testing. Now white box testing is each and every component in the application we have to validate each and every component which is validate in the by using of unit testing. So which is called as white box testing. And similarly go for black box testing. The black box testing means you have created one form, you are entering something data in that particular form. How the data is stored. Data actually is stored in the database, whatever the different data sources, storing data sources were used. So the data is stored in the particular database, whatever databases you are used, the data is collectively stored or not. So that will be checked in the black box testing. Okay, so these are the two testings we should be using. Next one, deployment stage. In this deployment stage, what we are trying to do is, we have different components. We have a different components, that means different kinds of applications. Over here, component is not one kind of application. All applications integrated. All applications will be integrated, and we have to deploy it. Means we have to store these applications in on cloud or a data source or in the server, whatever maybe. You have to deploy it. That means that all applications which are in live mode, So that is called as a deployment. So after deployment, next phase, you go for maintenance. In this maintenance phase, what we are trying to do is, whatever implemented, whatever developed, so everything is smoothly working or not, it's as actually running or not. Is there any pitfalls happen by taking the feedbacks from the customers who are using our product? They are giving the feedbacks. Based on the feedbacks, we are going to upgrade the software. So that is called as a maintenance. So this is also where we are taking the legal agreement by the requirement analysis. So this is while you are taking off any project. So these are the several stages needed. Now just simply I am giving some points here. Just in the requirement gathering and analysis phase, here what is that? This phase involves gathering documents of user requirements. Then what we'll do, it can be done through interviews, surveys, or discussions with the stakeholders. So that is the next one. The goal must be clarity. That software should do its functionality, and any constraints and limitations are there, you should be verified. So this is entirely you put as a legal document. So that is requirement gathering and analysis. Clear? Next, go for the planning. In this planning or definition or what that you can consider it. Okay. So in this planning, the project planning is done, which includes, what are the includings? Definition of the scope, objectives, timelines, as well as resource allocations. These are the major elements are required for making a project planning. The next one, which include schedule and budget. These are the very important. These are the 2 points are very important. So schedule is nothing but how much time to execute this particular project, how long it could be take, either 2 months or 3 months, 1 year, 2 years. It should be take some plan. For that, you make a budget. How much budget is required? 3 crores, 4 crores, 10 crores, whatever, based on your time duration. Okay. Then is create a guidelines, develop a process. This is called as a planning. Now next phase, I will discuss. So first Duration of designing phase, system architecture, software designs created based on the gathering the requirements. This includes high level, low level design. So high level designing as well as a low level design we should be doing. Define the data structure and selecting the technologies. What is the technology you are used, based on that you should be create. So then in this purpose you should be make as some UML diagrams I already explained. So there are 9 diagrams you are used to designing each and everything what's happening in this system, one component, another component to component, what type of relationship, everything you are going to detailed explanation you should be given in the diagram as a diagram. So that is mainly if you are designing is something is little bit not in a such a manner, not in a good manner, then automatically what happened? The project will be collapsed. What happened? The project will be collapsed. So whenever you are making of any designing, so you should be confidently make the designing each and bit make designing with the clarity. That is the major thing. This is the major part of this. This is part of the your project. Next one, the implementation. So in this implementation nothing but what? Based on the code, what are the classes are there, what are the objects are there, what is the inheritance concepts are there, what is deployment diagram, what are there. So everything what you are doing, you are put in a coding. What are the known language that is given by the client. Okay. So the developer write the based on the designing specifications. Design specification we should be right, and the coding standards best practice follow to ensure the code quality and maintenance. Code quality and maintenance. It must be. Code quality and maintenance means what? Code quality and maintenance means the code will be simple, executing will be faster. It must be understand to who are developing the project. Once you are left the project, so someone new person is entering, okay, then what will do? You can easy to understand your project. What is going on? What is the flow of this? What is technology is used? How the functionality is linking one function to one method to another method. So we should be maintain some comments, and we are declaring the variable also must be understandable. So that can be helpful to developing the project. If you are for example you have left the project, so somebody is entered, so I can easy to understand. So this is a way of writing the code. The next one, testing. So testing is very important. So each and every component, each and every application integrately, intuitively, you should be check it. Okay, so that is, so ensure testing critical phase to identify, fix defects and ensure the software meets its requirements. Okay, and testing include unit testing, integrating testing, and system testing, and user accepting testing. So these are the different test cases are there. So unit testing is each and every component we are going to check. Integrating test, multiple components are there, integrating, so that is integrating testing. And system testing, system to system and node to node, the data is flowing or not, so that is system testing. And user accepting testing, so after that you are entering the data, register it, and again he is able to log in that the data is accepted or not, registered data is stored, then again he is enter some username or password and okay. So that is called as the accepting testing. Okay. Okay, and means for example registration, and then that was gone to the mail, and again you check the mail, the link is generated or not, the user is accepted the link or not, everything that is called as user acceptance testing. So this is testing cases. The next phase you go for the deployment stage. So deployment stage, testing is completed, software deemed stable, then it's developed and product environment made available to the user. That means that live in the project. The deployment involves migrations of the data, setting the necessary of the infrastructure. This is what you can do. So that is deployment stage. This is called. This is deployment. So the deployment nothing but you are deployed, ready to run this project in the live. So that is deployment, right? So last phase, the maintenance and support. So in this maintenance, after developing of the product, you are live in, then I will explain the maintenance supportability. This is the support. You can maintain nothing but support, and that means based on the feedbacks, we are taking the feedbacks. So some functions are not working proper manner, some network error, whatever, any kind of errors. So you must be supported. You should be supported, and based on the feedback, so any kind of upgradations are required. So that is also should be this. Nowadays we are already seen. So after using installing of an app, then again it asks some upgradation. So upgrade it means that internally some feedbacks are going on. That's why we are going to upgrading the data. So that is called the maintenance and the support system. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.